Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story. I didn't plan to talk to anyone. I just wanted a coffee, a quiet moment, a bit of sun on my face. That was all. But the city had other plans. There were no free tables except the one I was at, just one chair across from me. He paused, smiled, and asked, tentative, "You mind if I sit here?" I looked up. Brown eyes, maybe a bit older than me. Not pushy, just easy. I nodded. Casual, sure. For a few minutes we didn't say much. He looked at his phone. I stared at my cup, but the silence wasn't uncomfortable. Not really. And then it started. He asked something about the drink I had. I said it was terrible. He laughed. I did too. And that cracked it open. The conversation just flowed. He told me he wasn't from here, visiting for work. I said I lived just a few blocks away. He asked about the city. I asked what he was running from, half joking. He answered like he wasn't sure if I was joking or not. And then I realized I didn't want to leave. Not yet. Not while the sun felt this warm. Not while his eyes were on me like that. He offered to pay for my second coffee. I said I didn't need it, but I let him anyway. And that changed something too. When we both stood up, neither of us said goodbye. He asked, "Want to walk a little?" I shrugged. Sure. Like I wasn't already thinking yes before he asked. The streets were busy but slow. Old balconies, small shops, people moving like they weren't in a rush. It felt like a movie, and I didn't care who was watching. He walked just close enough. Not too close, but his hand brushed mine once, and I didn't pull away. We stopped at a bookstore. He asked what I liked to read. I said I usually just flip through things and never finish. He said he always finishes what he starts. He looked right at me when he said it. My cheeks went warm. He noticed. Didn't say anything about it, but I know he noticed. We kept walking, stopped for gelato. He picked pistachio. I said it was boring. He offered me a spoon. I took it from his hand. We passed a window that reflected both of us, and in that moment, I liked how we looked together. He said, "You want to keep walking, or maybe come back with me for a glass of wine?" I didn't even pretend to hesitate. His apartment wasn't far. Small, clean, a little messy in the way that makes a place feel real. He poured 2 glasses, red. I stood by the window while he searched for music. When he handed me the glass, our fingers touched, not by accident, not anymore. We toasted. "To new cities," he said. "To unexpected tables," I replied. The wine was good, or maybe it was just the moment. He sat on the couch. I stayed standing for a second too long, then I joined him, close, but not touching yet. The conversation slowed. Words faded into glances. His hand brushed my knee, and this time I leaned in. His lips were warm, tasted like wine and something deeper. His hand slid behind my neck, fingers in my hair. My whole body tilted into him. We kissed slowly, like we had time, like we both knew exactly where this was going, and neither of us wanted to rush the way there. I pulled back first, just to look at him, and he looked at me like I was already his favorite secret. He whispered, "Still want more wine?" I shook my head, smiling. The rest. It wasn't polite, it wasn't careful, it was hungry. Hands under shirts, zippers that didn't cooperate, laughter between kisses, breaths getting heavier, faster. My jacket hit the floor first, then his shirt, then I stopped keeping track. His hands explored like they were reading, fingertips tracing, testing, learning, and I let him. The couch wasn't big enough. We didn't care. We made space. We made heat. There was a moment when I looked up at him and he was already looking at me like he was wondering how the hell this happened and hoping it never stopped. Later, the wine was still half full. We were wrapped in each other, not talking, just breathing. He asked, "Want to take a shower?" I laughed. "Only if you're coming too. Water, steam." my back against tile, his lips on my collarbone, soap we forgot to use. He lifted me, and I didn't care how heavy I was. He made it feel like nothing. After the shower, we didn't dry off properly. We fell back into bed, damp, flushed, grinning. This time was slower, sweeter, hands on skin like we already knew the map, and were just retracing our favorite parts. By the end, I was tangled in sheets in his breath, his arm across my stomach, my fingers drawing circles on his chest. It was quiet, but not awkward, not even a little. "So," he said, "breakfast tomorrow?" I looked at him, bit my lip, and whispered, "Only if it's at your place."